Good afternoon. It is Sunday, March 11th, 2018. We are the Bitter Knitters. My name is Jacqueline, and Justin is here.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How's daylight saving time affecting you?
I'm tired. I just want to sleep.
Are you ready to move to a state like Indiana that does not have it?
My state might be one of those states soon.
Yeah.
I may not have to move.
I kind of get I understand why they have daylight savings time, and I know it is better for the sunlight and all this stuff, but it's so annoying, and there's so much accidents for a week afterwards.
Yeah, and I like how every time this year, John Oliver's Facebook page posts their little segment. Why is this still a thing? Daylight saving. Of course, now I have to call it daylight saving because I got that HQ question wrong this week. Did you take that? Did you take that one?
No, I didn't see that one.
So it's like, what's the appropriate way to say this term? So it's daylight saving time, daylight savings time, and daylight savings with an apostrophe time.
And what is it? Just daylight saving?
Yeah, it's only daylight saving. Now, I knew daylight savings was a trick question, so I'm like, I'm not going to pick that. I'm going to pick the one with the apostrophe. It's like Tricked. 2 people picked. I think 2 people picked that one. So it was a savage question. Most people picked the middle one, the other wrong one.
Well, and there's a big night on HQ Trivia tonight.
Yes, it's a $25,000 prize, which is typical for Sundays, but it's going to be a winner take all. So what they usually do on Sundays is ask 15 questions, and after 15 questions, whoever is still in the game, split the pot. What they're doing tonight is they're going to keep asking questions till there's only one person left. And if there isn't one person left, what they'll do is they'll take that prize and roll it over to next Sunday. So next
potentially
Sunday,
somebody could win $50,000 next week, or will they roll it again? And it could be $75,000.
I assume they'll keep rolling it till one person.
Wow, someone will win though. There's some smart ass people on there.
Yeah, Google bots.
I don't think you can Google in time. I couldn't Google in time.
It's tough.
And then maybe if you had Alexa or something.
I still think it would be tough.
Yeah, because they start the timer starts as soon as the person starts reading the question.
Yeah. So if you're not a fast reader and if you need to read it, it's tough.
Yeah.
So they really make it tough to cheat. I know that there's been bots out there in different ways, but from what I've heard, a lot of them have been shut down as soon as they pop up. So
I hadn't heard about the bots. Okay.
I do know that it is possible to win, and you won too. Yeah, we're both winners now.
We're HQ cutie winners.
Yay! And I was close last night. I made it to question. I had to use a life, but I made it to question 11 before getting.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You know what's so stupid? I got the extra life last week, and I'm like, oh, I'll use it for the big money. That's stupid. I'm never going to win the big money. I may as well have just used it on a regular 2,500 game. I would have had a better chance of winning.
Yeah, I wasted my life last night, but it's worth using it if you make it to question 10.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot because then you only have 2 more to get right. So I did it. Didn't work out for me. But yeah, I would never use it for a big money game. There's no chance I would ever win that big money.
Yeah.
And there's more questions with the big money games.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how long the game goes tonight.
Yeah. I don't think it'll go that much more than the 15. Because I feel like when there's 15, there's usually only a handful of winners.
Well, last week there was the 8 winners, right? No.
Yeah.
9 winners. Because they won just under 9,000 each, 8,000 something. Yeah.
Yeah. So by then, there's only a handful of winners after 15. So probably a little bit after that, less than 20. It'll be also interesting to see where they ramp up the difficulty. I feel like even when they ask 15, question 3 is usually the one I go out on.
Yeah. 3 or 4 or 5 is the one that normally gets.
Which is weird for the 50,000. You would think that.
And I get mad when question 9 is something ridiculously what does red and blue make?
I thought question 7 was the easiest thing in the world last night. That was the one I asked you about the cloned mammal.
Oh yes, Dolly.
Yeah, and it was named after the songwriter of which one of these songs. And it was Shake It Off. Well, it's not going to be named after Taylor. Taylor was barely born at that time. The other one, I don't remember. Oh, This Kiss, Faith Hill. Yeah. And then 9 to 5, which is obviously Dolly.
Well, she looks like an old sheep, so.
Swift?
No, Faith Hill.
Swift, both. So I got a few, not many news stories because there's a lot of shows I want to talk about. But the first thing we're going to talk about is Bye Bye Birdie. Keeps going bye-bye. So Bye Bye Birdie was supposed to air this past December 2017. and they're like, oh, J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez is so busy, it'll be 2018. And now they're like, she's still busy. So now they're saying the earliest will be 2019. Is this ever going to happen?
No, because she can't sing live. We all know it before even. If you're a fan of blind items and Hollywood gossip, go to the Crazy Days and Night website and check out the blind item on MV. This is a blind item that went, 8 years?
A long time.
7 or 8 years. He would release a clue about it, and it goes on, and people were torn for years, whether it was Britney Spears or Jennifer Lopez. He revealed it 2 Thanksgivings ago, and he's saying it's Jennifer Lopez, and I believe it because her singing voice does not sound like her speaking voice at all.
Where Britney, when we've heard her a few times sing like Happy Birthday on the X Factor and a few other times, it sounds like her.
Yeah, exactly. She sounds
not necessarily a good thing, but it sounds like her.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen Britney Spears sing on like Star Search and things like that. She can sing. It might not always be in tune or on key. They've been on her concerts at Las Vegas. She's been doing some live singing.
Yeah, so, and I always feel like Jennifer Lopez's rise as a singer was always kind of questionable.
Yeah.
So apparently this is now pushed back to at least 2 years after it was originally.
I have zero desire to see it, and if she's in it, even less. Negative desire.
Yeah, I don't either. I have no desire. I'm not a huge fan of hers. I'm not really familiar with Bye Bye Birdie. I just think it's kind of funny. It keeps getting pushed back, and so now I'm wondering if they're gonna do a musical this December.
Dream musical for them to put on TV. What would it be for you?
Well, a lot of the ones that I would want probably would have to be censored quite a bit, like an Avenue Q. Hi, I'm Reese Witherspoon from Big Little Lies, or a Book of Mormon.
Mine would be Spider-Man Turn Off the Lights or whatever it was called.
I saw that live.
I know, that's because remember everybody died making that or got injured, so like put that one on.
Starring someone you want to get injured.
That's a whole long list of people.
What would I want to see?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it would have to be something that would work because a lot of things are, it's hard to make it work not on stage. Maybe something like Lion King where they have a bit of a budget. I don't know. Yeah,
that would be interesting. Or any of these Disney ones. Like, you know what? I'll watch a live Mary Poppins.
Yeah, Mary Poppins would be good. Shrek. Shrek would be good.
Yeah. That would be pretty good.
Titanic.
I remember when that came out, my brother was listening to the music, and I was like, this is really boring.
I remember Rosie O'Donnell had them on like every week singing a song from Titanic. And I love Titanic, the mythology, the story, everything about it. And I was just like, this looks horrible.
I was not impressed. Oh, we could always do Rosie O'Donnell's Taboo with Boy George.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He had like paint like dripping.
As long as it's not Les Mis, sorry. Sorry, Jeremy. Not Les Mis.
Yeah, or Miss Saigon. Yeah. It has to be something that we haven't seen much in a while, so that would work.
Evita.
There you go. That works.
I love that. Okay.
So
Sister Patty. I just need to say, Sister Patty in the chat says Mary Poppins.
Yes, there we go. Second Mary Poppins, or Disney, or Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. There we go.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah,
that would work. CMT is bringing back Wife Swap for 10 episodes.
I got excited you were going to say Nashville.
Oh, well, Nashville's coming back for 8 more episodes.
I know it's canceled, but when you said that, I got excited. Is it Celebrity Wife Swap or regular Wife Swap?
No, it looks like it's going to be regular Wife Swap.
Those are kind of really good sometimes, like because they'll put like ultra conservative people with like super hippies and stuff.
Yeah, it is kind of fun, and I think now that we're in our society is the way it is, I think you can get even more interesting with people from different walks of life.
We're going to have a libtard with a conservative.
Yeah, well, especially with it being CMT, you're going to get lots of conservatives on the show. So, I mean, I would watch it every once in a while. It was kind of an enjoyable show. And I feel like CMT is kind of an interesting place for it, but CMT has gone away from its original purpose years ago. So
yeah, I remember it used to actually play country music videos. So
used to. I don't think any channel shows music videos anymore, except like MTV Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, regular Wife Swap apparently last aired in 2010. So it's been several years since we've had
that
regular.
long, yeah.
Yeah, but Celebrity Wife Swap, the last time we saw that was just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So
my favorite Celebrity Wife Swap was when they had Gary Busey on.
Oh, yes.
I can't remember anything that happened. I just remember going, geez Louise, this guy is batshit.
He is.
He is.
We always talk about this Disney streaming service coming in next year in 2019.
Yeah.
And it looks like they've set up behind the scenes for their Star Wars live action show, and they've set Jon Favreau as a writer and executive producer. He's directed Jungle Book, Iron Man, and so I think kind of a big name for a streaming TV show.
Yeah, because I think he's pretty good too. Because even if you think about some of his non-blockbuster type movies, he tells a good story.
Chef. I don't think I ever made it all the way through Chef.
Not all his things are good, but some of his things. Okay, we'll say that.
So, and we don't know what the show's going to be yet. It'll be interesting to see kind of what budget it's going to be, because it'll be really interesting to see what kind of money.
You're not going to see a lot of space battles.
No. It'll be really interesting to see what kind of money Disney will put into these streaming shows. Now, obviously, for their High School Musical show and Muppet Show, they don't have to put tons of money to make it look decent. But for a Star Wars show, you can't make it look cheap.
Well, I just watched online illegally. Sorry, the Stargate Origins, which was made for their streaming site, or their streaming site, and people pay $20 to go to that site and have access to that site. And while it was okay, it was definitely low budget.
And then this last year we had Star Trek Discovery, which was also made for streaming. How did that look? That looked okay?
Oh my God, beautiful. You could not tell that was made just for a streaming service. Like, that looks like it was produced with.
And it was always planned to be a streaming. So it wasn't like something that last minute.
It was not on the cheap at all. The effects were top notch.
Okay, absolutely. So that gives me a little faith for the Star Wars not looking cheap.
Yeah.
So that's good. And that's a good precedent.
Disney's going to get a lot of money. Like, let's face it.
Yes.
People are going to buy that Disney package.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if they use Star Wars to get people there. And maybe they'll throw in I bet they're going to throw in a Marvel series. There was that new Warrior show that was supposed to be on Freeform, that Freeform removed. I bet that's going to end up there.
Yeah. And they'll have, access to the old Disney movies that you can't get anywhere else and stuff like that.
The Disney Vault.
The Disney Vault.
Our last thing of news, 2 shows that got renewed in the last couple of weeks. Black Mirror is getting a season 5 through Netflix.
Yay! I can't wait to see what they do. Every season they blow my mind.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's going to be kind of like what they did with this season, how they divided it into 2. We got 12 episodes total. So it'll probably be, we probably won't see it till next year. But the other show that got renewed the last few days was ABC's Dr. Sean Murphy, aka The Good Doctor.
The Good Doctor.
That's
good news.
It took
the season is almost over, and this was the #1 new drama or new show in general for the whole season.
Yeah, I'm wondering why it took so long. The finale is going to air March 26th, so we're only a couple weeks away from the finale.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to miss Dr. Sean Murphy.
Yeah. Yeah, but the good news is we will see him again, most likely in the fall. So that is very good news. So more Black Mirror, more Dr. Sean Murphy.
Yay.
We're good to go. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about TV. Like I said, I have a lot of things I want to talk about this week. The first thing, we have not had a chance to talk about Survivor Ghost Island yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you were away.
And we're already 3 tribal councils in, 3 episodes in, and we have Ghost Island, which I think is kind of useless. It's pretty much Exile Island.
It's Exile Island, but I love when people go there like, I hope ghosts don't get me. My favorite is Donathan, obviously.
Yeah, Donathan.
East Kentucky, where there ain't no gay guys like him in East Kentucky. I love him.
And he has survived 3 tribal councils, so 3
where he should not have. Although he wasn't even a suggestion at the last one, which bodes well for me because they forgot and they want to get him out.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Well, we did get a tribe switch in the 3rd episode.
Yeah, which that weird Seth Rogen guy said there's going to be a switch up very soon.
and nobody believed weird Seth Rogen.
No.
I bet they want weird Seth Rogen on their side now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Donathan was on the losing tribe, and I feel like they didn't even mention him as a possibility.
They didn't. If they did, it wasn't on camera, that's for sure.
But the Navidi tribe, they were always going to go after one of their own, which was stupid. Stupid.
When you have the numbers, you suck it up and you deal with somebody you don't like just for another 2 weeks, or not even 2 weeks, 6 days.
Yeah, we got these two alpha males pretty much going at it from the Navidi tribe that are on the new Navidi tribe.
Yeah.
And you get Dominic, who I think is the absolute worst this season.
I despise him so far.
Yeah, he's this loudmouth New Yorker. It's shut up, dude.
One of those guys that think they know it all, alpha male.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Chris guy. He's kind of sexy.
Chris isn't too bad. And Chris is the other guy. He's this super tall blonde guy. And Dominic and him are kind of on opposing sides. And Chris ended up going to Ghost Island after the challenge. What happens is the winning tribe picks one person for the losing tribe to go to Ghost Island. That person will be safe that week because they'll miss tribal council. They couldn't come to an agreement because they're two halves of two old tribes. And so the existing Navidi tribe had to pull rocks. Chris got lucky and went to Ghost Island. I think he possibly could have.
I think he would have went. I think he would have went 100%.
And so now it's down to 4 and 4, 4 old Navidi, 4 old Malolo or Malala, whatever you want to call it. Malala. And 4 from each tribe. And yet the people from Navidi still wanted to get out someone from their old tribe. Why? Yeah. Why would you do that? And so they were convinced. They told Malolo who to vote for. Malolo's okay. We will vote for that person, telling Dominic. But as soon as Dominic leaves, they're like, let's do something else. Which was very smart of them.
It was smart of them. It was really smart of them. I almost thought that, because I kind of looked at the time when he started to do the votes, and I thought, oh my God, they're going to do a rock pull. I thought they were going to tie and force the rocks. And I'm like, you're so stupid. Don't do that.
Well, what was smart with Malalo is they knew that Navidi told their target to vote for someone on Malalo. Yes. So Malalo knew that it was their 4 votes were going to be 3-1. So since they had the majority of 4, they were able to pretty much vote off whoever they wanted to. That would have been a good time to get rid of Dominic.
It would have. I would have got rid of him. You're already he didn't help you in the challenge.
No. So, he's got an idol, but he would not have seen that coming.
And he told them that he tricked the other people with a fake idol and kept his real idol hidden. So he's playing his hand and showing kind of how clever and manipulative he can be.
I think he would have been the one to get it. So it'll
be interesting. And
when
this Chris guy comes back.
Yeah, I was just going to say it'll be interesting when Chris comes back.
Yeah.
To see what they now they are again at a 4-4.
So who's your favorite?
You gotta love Donathan.
Something about Donathan. He's one of those endearing people, like somebody who probably is very much on the outside in his town. I'm sure he's got friends, but he's not anybody who's going to be the most popular guy in school.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And for him to come and be on, he's just like that, the country mouse coming to the city, and he's just so wide-eyed and he's so endearing, and there's something charming about him. I just love him. I hope he gets everything in the world that he wants.
Yeah. And what's tricky though is with having a third episode, technically the second episode, because last week was 2 and 1.
Yeah.
The tribe tribe switch is, I don't feel like I know them very well now.
No, because they haven't seen a lot of the kind of background players, like all the girls that were talking in last week's episode. I didn't know anything about them.
I think I'm okay with Libby. She's the blonde who.
She's okay. The one that has the crazy hair.
Oh, Stephanie.
I don't know her name, but she looks like a cave woman at all times. Whether her hair's in braid or a pony or
she's
just
cosplaying
style.
She's cosplaying as Cave Buffy.
She does. She looks like it. Donathan. I know Brad just because he's hot, and Chris and Dominic. But most of the other guys and girls are just like.
James is kind of interesting. He's the Asian one that messed up.
Yes, he's not very good at sports. He's built so good. He's not good at swimming. He's not good at running and jumping.
Those people always baffle me because look at you. You're in good shape. You
I know. And then Donathan does it on his first try, and you're like, what? Donathan. Who's the The black girl with the braids. I kind of like her too. I think she has potential to go far.
Oh, is that Laurel?
I don't know their name.
I'm pretty sure that's Laurel.
With the glasses, and she was like, oh, all the pretty people are in charge, and I'm just kind of on the outside.
Because then the other black one with the short hair, I think that's Desiree.
Okay, yeah, I'm liking, I guess if her name is Laurel, I like her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Laurel. Like
I don't think, have we heard Desiree talk?
I think she talked at the very beginning of the first episode when her leader, Chris, picked her to do like the puzzle, and she's like, I can't do puzzles.
Oh, I remember that.
I think that's the only time we heard her speak.
When we see Desiree having like a whole bunch of freaking talking to the camera times, I'll be like, it's her episode to go.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people at this point. And the more we hide that Sebastian guy, the better. I'm glad I didn't see much of him this week.
He's deformed. You mean male Maisie Williams, whatever her name is? Sorry,
the baby of Maisie Williams and Dave Franco, yes.
He almost kind of has, and this is horrible to say, but something about him also reminds me of Sloth from Goonies.
I totally say it.
So sorry, Jeremy.
I hope like next
Jeremy, Sebastian.
I hope next week Jeff Roach is like in the reward to this challenge is Baby Ruth. He'd be like, Baby Ruth? Or he finds something somewhere in his island. He's like, hey, you guys. He does have a sloth.
Oh my gosh.
But I always hate those like surfer dude people, those contestants. I think they're my least favorite type of contestants.
I don't mind them sometimes. I guess it depends on them. This guy just, because we haven't seen much of him, he just seems like there's literally nothing there.
I'd rather not see much of him. So I know we are way out from it, but at this point, if you were to pick a winner, who do you pick?
Well, my heart will always be with Jonathan, but I think a good winner, as much as I hate to say it, Dominic, because I have a feeling he'll weasel through, or Laurel. I think Laurel might be an underdog.
Laurel could be an underdog. The person that I may say this name and you might be like, who?
Yeah.
I get a weird, just sometimes when you're watching this and based on who they're using as narrators and who they're using for confessionals, and for whatever reason, even though she hasn't done anything, they're doing a lot of confessionals from some girl named Kellen.
Who?
Exactly. But I don't know any spoilers whatsoever, but the way that they're using her as the narrator, dirty blonde, light brunette, white girl. She's 31, so for this cast, she's on the older side.
Yeah, normal age, but yeah,
normal age. But for this cast,
Survivor. Yeah. I will say that this Survivor cast, even though it seems like it's a lot of actual fans for a change, wholly in shape. The guys, especially.
Well, you have the 18-year-old guy that looks like he's 40.
Yeah, but
he even told everybody, he's like, I'm 23, and they're like, yeah, okay, cool, you're 23.
Yeah, Brad, that's the hot one. He's hot.
That's Michael.
Oh, Michael. Oh, maybe I'm not.
Brad is the one that sometimes wears glasses, sometimes doesn't.
Oh, okay, Michael's the one that's hot. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. So it's funny though, because he's like, yeah, I'm 23. They're all like, cool, okay, we buy it.
Yeah, the one guy I don't find him particularly attractive, but he looks older. He looks like he's like probably in his 40s.
Oh, the gym teacher?
Abs are like ridiculous.
Yeah, the gym teacher. Yeah, he's 41. He
has abs like a freaking 20-year-old. Holy cow.
Yeah, these people are definitely in shape, which is why you knew.
That's why I like it. Like nobody's like, "What's a ghost island? What's an immunity idol?
What's a back door?" Nobody's meta world piecing it.
Yeah. So I kind of like it. At least it's not just like whether these people were recruited or not. At least they've seen some of the show and understand what's happening.
Yeah. I always assume if they're a pretty person, they've probably been recruited. But they do seem to know what they're talking about. Where Seth Rogen apparently used to be a recapper at a Survivor fan site. So obviously
he lived the dream, and the dream was a nightmare.
Well, his name was Jacob. His problem was he played way too hard, way too fast, way too paranoid. What was the guy's name like 2 or 3 seasons ago? David, kind of that balding like writer, like
he was
40s.
scared of all the bugs.
He was scared of all the bugs at the beginning. He went really far. I think he went to like top 3, top 4.
I think so, yeah.
And his thing was that he, at the beginning, the same way that Jacob did, he was looking for idols, played way too hard, way too fast, way too neurotically. But I don't know if it was his tribe just kept winning or whatever, but he was quickly able to reel it in and recover and make it really, really, really far.
Some good alliances and go the distance.
Where Seth Rogen Jacob was not able to do.
Well, the thing I think about that Michael guy is he kind of had at least some social game.
Yes.
Seth Rogen spent too much time on the internet because he had no idea what he was doing. He didn't know how to talk to people.
He was awkward.
And he got hypnotized by the boobs and revealed everything.
Cave Buffy's boobs. Yeah. Yeah. Which was he needed to hold things closer to his chest and not just spill everything out. So he was not a very good player. But one thing I've liked about the season so far is I feel like, even to an extent, Jacob's boot, but everything's kind of been a blindside so far because he went in pretty confident.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That was the most obvious boot in obvious boots ever.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. He did not see it coming. I mean, at first, Superfan, he played it so badly. Yeah. I think that's the problem sometimes. Superfans think they have it all figured out, and they get a little arrogant and think they know more than the other people, and it's like,
you can't do that. But this boots, when Morgan went home this week, she never saw it coming.
No, she did not. And I do love a blind side.
She was pissed.
Like even Dominic, like, so what the hell's going on? I love it. I love when somebody like Dominic thinks they have the game under control, and you have to watch their jaw drop when their person.
That's why this was the week to get rid of him, because he never saw it coming.
Now he's going to be paranoid, and he's
exactly. It's going to be harder to get rid of him now.
Yeah.
But there's all these stupid idols floating around.
And the preview next week looks like he's trying to work on Cave Buffy to kind of get into her alliance. So
yeah, and all these idols are floating around.
Yeah, you see like 12 people looking for idols in the preview.
Yeah. And what's interesting is every time they find a new idol, we have to have like a hour-long Survivor history lesson. Yeah, well, James wasn't a Survivor, China.
Like, we all remember the guy went home with 2 idols in his pockets. Like, it's famous. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Well, that made me old was one of the guys was like, yeah, I was 4 when I saw that season.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. I think that was the 18-year-old who said that. Well,
yeah. Well, you know what? My son is like, I remember I was home on maternity leave with my son when Survivor first started.
Your son is pretty much the same age as Michael.
Yeah, my son is 18. He is the same age. Oh my God.
Well, Michael might be 19 now because it was filmed a year ago. But
okay. I told you I needed a new jailbait crush. I wonder why my son doesn't bring any friends home.
Could you imagine your son on Survivor?
Oh my God, he's white as me. He burst into flames in the first hour. Of all,
when he beat Seth Rogen.
You know what? No, there's something very charming about my son. I think as long as he didn't get arrogant, because he does have a tendency to get arrogant, he does have a charm about him. He might be able to last a little while. I don't think he'd win. And he tends to be good at sports, even though he doesn't look like he'd be good at sports. So he might do well.
So he's like the anti-James.
Yeah, like he might do. I mean, he's strong, so he could pull things, and he's kind of intelligent. I don't know if he's good at puzzles. I don't think so, because he has to ask me for help sometimes with his video game puzzles.
The anti-James.
Yeah.
But I was reading something, and they said something that made me feel very old. That apparently this premiered in 2000. Survivor did, and you had to be 18 to be on it. Now, this season was filmed last year. We're going to get to the point either in the next 2 or 3 seasons where we're going to have a contestant that was born after Survivor premiered.
Oh my God.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah. I guess like my daughter's 16. She could be, now granted, she can't be on Survivor because we're Canadian, but I mean, people her age will be on Survivor in a couple of years.
Yeah. They don't seem to go that young very often.
No.
But
every once in a while, because it's kind of interesting to see the 18-year-olds, especially the guys. They're very easily manipulated because they just don't have any life
Yeah.
experience yet, you know?
Well, what's weird is I always thought that the age was 21. And then I think it was, ironically, I think it was China. Frosty was the first one. I'm like, this guy's 18, 19? I thought you had to be 21 to be on the show.
Yeah.
And then every few seasons we'll get someone who's like 18.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you have to pass the psych test too. A lot of 18-year-olds probably aren't ready for that.
Yeah. So I'm finding this a pretty enjoyable season so far. It's a lot of strategy, game playing, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I like it so far too.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about our next show. This one we probably don't need to talk about for very long. It's Life Sentence on CW.
Oh, you watched it? Okay.
I watched it this morning. And so this is the new CW show starring Lucy Hale, formerly of Pretty Little Liars and formerly of American Juniors.
I was going to say, you know her from Pretty Little Liars?
Well, you know her from Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah,
I know her from American Juniors like 20 years ago. So this is a show where it had like a 10-minute long like narration at the beginning. It's like, is this narration ever going to end? And are we ever going to get into
Well, they're setting the story, which I kind of appreciated. They did. I know it was still 10 minutes, but at least it was more condensed than doing a whole episode of it.
That's true. That's true. And you're right. They could have done 40 minutes of the setup and then everything else would be in the next few episodes. So no, that's true. I have to appreciate that a little bit. So Lucy Hale plays a girl who's told she's got cancer, is going to die soon. And so her family...
Like 6 months to live, basically.
Like 6 months to live, very soon. So she's
been sick for many years, but nothing's going to work anymore, they say.
Yeah, so 6 months, and her family's kind of babied her and kind of taken care of her. And she goes off to Paris. When she's in Paris, she meets a guy. They fall in love. And then she finds out, oh, your cancer's gone. You're going to live. You're not going to die.
Yeah, completely 100% cured. It's not going to... Because they did some sort of stem cell or something, and it's not ever going to come back.
And so now that she isn't going to die, she kind of finds out that her family's been hiding a lot of things from her. Because when you're dealing with a loved one who is about to die,
you protect them from the bad stuff because they've already got surviving to deal with.
Yeah. So we find out that her parents are on the outs, that her mom is entering a lesbian relationship with her godmother.
Yeah. Dad's broke basically because he spent all the money on medicine and cures and trips for her to go to Paris and a nice wedding to marry her boyfriend. And
her brother's pretty much a pig.
I kind of love her brother. Her brother spends all his time boning soccer moms.
Yeah, and gets one of them pregnant at the end.
Yes. Well, we have to assume he's the daddy.
Well, I assume, yeah. Well, apparently she's married, and I guess her husband keeps like finding him, and at one point punches him.
The sister is unsatisfied with her life because she's got kids, and she never got to pursue her dream because she was too busy, trying to take care of her sister and her own family.
And she wanted to be the daughter to provide the grandparents to
or
the grandkids to her parents and all that kind of stuff. And then her boyfriend was just kind of said yes to everything she wanted. Like, oh yeah, let's have sex to Sarah Bareilles every night.
Yeah, everything that she liked.
Yeah.
Everything that she liked and he kind of went into the marriage thinking he was only going to have her for 6 months. So, he could live with everything for 6 months. Mm-hmm. The things that he didn't like. And now they're forced to actually get to know each other again. And will they still love each other after that?
Yeah, she finds out that he really wants kids when she thought he didn't. And so her life kind of goes in a little tailspin because everything she thought she knew, she doesn't. And she's going to have to live with this because obviously she's not dying now.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cute for like a 2-hour movie, but is there a TV show in this?
I'm going to keep watching. I didn't love it. I didn't think about it for the rest of the week and wonder what's going to happen. But I'll give it another chance just because we haven't seen the introduction of Riley Smith yet. Is that his name, Riley Smith?
That is his name.
Yeah.
The busted guy from Nashville.
Yeah, that guy. He was in Frequency and he was in True Blood. Apparently they're dating in real life.
Oh, so that's how they met.
Yeah, isn't that the one they're dating in real life, right?
I know he was dating somebody. Was it her?
I'm sure it's her.
That would make sense,
yeah. So I'll see what happens, what their chemistry is like. I do kind of like the husband. I think he's kind of sweet and adorable, but, I guess we'll see.
So is Riley Smith coming in as kind of like a love triangle with her and her husband?
I don't I'm gonna guess he's playing a doctor. So I don't know what kind of doctor he's going to be. Maybe she needs to see a psychiatrist. I don't know.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, I might stick with it a couple times. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was there, and it was kind of
I was really distracted though. I mean, look, I've been watching her on Pretty Little Liars for many years, and I know she has giant eyeballs, but her face looked like it shrunk and her eyes got bigger. It just was like a giant eye doll come to life. She's so tiny and she's so adorable, and she's just like a doll.
I will say she's charming.
Yeah,
she's cute. A likable actress.
Yeah.
I just don't know if there's enough concept here.
Yeah, like if that could go for like 5 years, I don't know.
I mean, usually CW's been kind of nervous renewing or like canceling first season shows. Last season they had no issues canceling the one with Gallivant and Frequency, and they have a show called Valor, which I think is going to get canceled this year. So will we see a season 2 of Life Sentence?
I like Frequency too, but I do appreciate that they gave us a little webisode to wrap up the story.
But the other thing is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and Jane the Virgin are definitely closer to their finales than they are to their premieres. So they're going to have to start finding shows that will kind of be spiritual successors to these two shows.
Well, and with the superhero heavy station, you still need to get some kind of chick shows to get your lady viewers in.
And this is a lot closer to those shows than to the superhero shows.
Yeah, definitely.
So that might work for it, especially now that we're going to get an extra night of programming on the CW.
Oh, that's right. Sundays are opening up, right?
Sundays are opening up.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Speaking, but yeah, I'll stick with it for a little while. I'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of CW, another show that we watched on CW returned a couple weeks ago, and that is iZombie.
Yay!
I'm not sure how I feel about these first 2 episodes.
I haven't really liked it, but I'll keep watching. I'll give it a chance.
So now everyone knows the zombies are out. They've walled Seattle around. A lot of the non-zombies escape, but there's still a lot of non-zombies there. If I was a non-zombie, I would have gotten out.
I would have hightailed the shit out of there. The minute I saw zombies, I would have drove way out of town.
Those rich ladies from episode 2, why are they still in Seattle?
Yeah, I have no clue.
So you got several things going on. They're still sticking with the procedural thing, which is fine because it's fun watching that actress be different people every week. She was a Seahawks fan the first episode, and she was a rich old lady. I loved her wig.
Oh my God. I loved her as the rich old lady.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I like the scene when they're I like the fact that she got shot with a golf ball gun. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
The old lady. But I like the scene where they were questioning all the help. And Babadoe, the police detective, was like, well, they're all lying. And Liv was like, how do you know? Because you're the worst person I've ever met. Because they're all saying how nice she was, the old lady. And Liv, on old lady brain, was so mean.
She was so mean.
Yeah. So I'm liking the return of that police procedural stuff. I'm not really sure what they're doing with Ravi. I like Ravi, but I'm not liking the story with him at all.
Well, they haven't really. I mean, other than we saw him last week, he gets zombie recession every once in a while, regression,
and he's like naked a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And then the Machaco was kind of useless.
Well, she always has been, but yes.
She always has been.
I don't like the stuff going on. Like, I hate this military group so much.
Yeah.
This is what's killing the show for me. Is I don't care about that military group.
Yeah. And this is major with Lillywhite's whole story is he's now has 2 young zombies under his wing, recruits under his wing with his army, and the girl who goes kind of crazy and it's going to be caught on tape, and she turned a guy into a zombie. So, but again, it's that guy's fault for still being in that city.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of and there's a lot of anti-zombie sentiment going around. And then
you've got T-Bag from Prison Break, who is what's that guy's dad?
Blaine's dad.
And he was down in the well and he went crazy in the well. He thought God was talking to him and sending him meat chunks down, which was Blaine.
His son.
So now he's like making some sort of zombie revolutionary group. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we get more and more.
A church zombie cult.
Yeah, and now he's got more and more people in that church. So obviously he's forming a whole religion, a whole cult with that.
It's like the David Koresh of zombies.
And then yeah, it's weird. And then Babido and his zombie girlfriend
can't have sex because even condoms won't protect you from the zombie virus. Yeah. Remember, because that was something that Lily White and Liv went through.
And they've been having sex, but then something happened where she kind of compromised him a bit. Her and Ravi snuck in this little boy.
Across the wall border.
Yeah,
to get operation.
Yeah, I liked. I thought that scene was pretty good when the renegade lady made Ravi go in the washing machine.
Yes.
But the little boy's mom was weird looking. You know what she looked like to me? Well, she had a huge long neck and tiny head. She looked like, I don't know if you're going to remember this, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, when Obi-Wan goes to that rainy city and there's the long neck, little head alien creatures that were very tall. She looked like one of those.
They made the clones, yeah.
Yes, the clone makers. She looked like that to me.
I kind of see it, yeah.
But her son was adorable. But yeah, and in the first episode, the Seahawks fan died, and it ended up being his son was a closeted zombie, and he was making his.
I liked her as the Seahawks fan, though. I thought that was funny. Fan.
You know what? She right now is the best part of the show because she's a good actress, and she totally sells her transformations.
She has no fear of going there with all her transformations. I like that.
Seahawks fan was hilarious. The old lady was hilarious.
They should have her on SNL.
Oh, I think she would do good.
Yeah.
And whenever she speaks with her English normal accent, it throws me off.
I forgot she's British in real
life. Yeah, she does a really good job. I'm not feeling the first 2 episodes, but I think
I'm in iZombie to the end. Yeah. I mean, it has to get really bad for me to stop watching. So,
but I'm in it for her. I think she's the best part of the show besides the theme song. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that goes. All right, we got some new shows to talk about. And the first one we're going to talk about, again, very quickly for each of these shows, is going to be NBC's Champions, which premiered this week. Created and produced by Mindy Kaling from The Mindy Project and from The Office. And she has a small role in this show. Did you watch Champions?
I did.
What did you think?
I didn't expect to like it, and I did like it.
It was fine. It kind of suffered from pilot-itis.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens as it goes around. So Mindy plays a mother, and she has a 13-year-old son who live in the Midwest, and he is Cleveland, Ohio, our favorite state, and he is unashamed of who he is. He's a theater kid. He's out. He's very dramatic. And she tries to get him into this prestigious drama theater school in New York City. The housing that they had lined up fell apart because the guy was a pedophile.
Yeah. Her son was going to live with this guy, and Mindy was going to live in her home in Cleveland. So
yeah, not a good
thing. It fell apart.
Yeah. And then, exactly. And then she's like, okay, we've got one more thing we can try. So she goes to this gym, and it's owned by these 2 brothers. And it turns out that she had a sexual affair with one of the brothers 13 years ago. And of course, is the father of this kid.
And she basically is saying, let him live here while he auditions.
And of course, the father's like, no. But I like the uncle character. I kind of like, my favorite relationship in the show was the chemistry between the son and the uncle. That was kind of sweet.
They're cute. I will say that now that guy who's playing the father, he was on the Mindy Project a few times. He was her love interest for a season, and he came back a couple times. He's likable. I'm sure he will warm up to that character. Yeah,
he's definitely painted to be kind of a dick at first.
Yeah,
but I think he's definitely going to come around.
Yeah, I do like the uncle. I think he's funny. He has all his house plants and his
in the protein powder containers.
Yeah, and he's like, did you ever wonder if you had an uncle? He's like, no. There's something very cute about that relationship.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite part about the show. And of course, the kid overhears his father saying that he doesn't want him there, so he runs away to the gym, and they finally get to the audition right in time.
He's like, I couldn't run away. I don't have any money, and I don't know anything about New York City.
So he goes to the one place he knows, which is the gym.
Yeah.
And he does get to the audition. Of course, it's too late. They're eating lunch. The auditions are over, but they give him a chance. He performs "We Are the Champions," and
it was good. And he got into the school.
Yeah.
And now he has to stay with his dad while he goes to school.
Yes.
It also has that Fortune Feinster, who I love her. She was on the Mindy Project too. I love her.
She's so bizarre looking. I've seen her on At Midnight before. It's the only thing I know her from. She's kind of bizarre, and her character kind of really doesn't belong. I bet they'll give her more to do as the show goes.
Yeah, I'm sure. There's a funny, I don't know. She's funny. She was really good on the Mindy Project.
So, yeah, it's got potential. Again, I kind of wish they would show 2 episodes because right now we're just left with the pilot. And
when is this show actually supposed to start airing?
I think it'll be on next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's in its normal time slot, but it was just 1 episode last week.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely watched it again.
Yeah, I think it could be fun. I mean, we'll see.
I don't like a lot of sitcoms, but I'll give that one a chance.
Yeah. So that's Champions on NBC. I think Thursday night, same night as Superstore. A lot of Sandra the last couple episodes.
Because you're gonna show your magic, right?
That's true.
They should call it Sandra Store.
I'm still hoping for the Sandra Daphne Nashville Superstore spinoff.
Oh my god!
Not sure how that would work, but I'm there for that.
Sandra transfers to the Nashville store.
Yes. And Daphne needs to get a job
because Maddie and Deacon lose all their money, and yeah.
And you know who else works there?
Who?
Vita, whatever her name is. We found her.
She's living in a shopping cart in the parking lot.
And the magical singing homeless man is there.
I could do without him.
And Scarlett, because she can't get a job anywhere else.
Oh God. She got kicked in the face and it fixed her traumatic brain injury. So she can get a job.
I thought you were going to say it fixed her face.
No, nothing can fix that.
Not even
a transplant.
I'd be for that. Oh my god, Sandra Store. That would be amazing. Hulu premiered a couple weeks ago a new show called The Looming Tower, which is a miniseries, 10 episodes based on a book of the same name. And it's got an interesting cast. We got Jeff Daniels is in it, Bill Camp, Michael Stolberg, who I'm not sure if I've seen yet, Peter Skarsgård. Apparently Alec Baldwin pops up at some point. And it is, most of it takes place, starts in 98.
No, there's a very important person in the show.
Oh, did I miss someone?
Yeah, you know that girl that Jeff Daniel makes out with for like 10 minutes and makes you want to puke?
Oh, that's the girl from The Following.
Yeah, that got buried alive.
So she got unburied and is now doing, I forgot about her. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
We talked about that show on our old show, didn't we?
I think so. And we talked about, she appeared on something else recently because I remember mentioning her.
Yeah, she was in something.
And I need to figure out what.
I almost watched that show on like maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. And then you were like, but I forgot about it until you mentioned it last night. And when I saw the picture, I'm like, oh yeah, I almost watched that.
Yeah, this one. Friends from College.
Oh, that's right.
That's what she was in. And she was in that. So we follow an FBI group and a CIA group, but mainly the FBI, at least with the first episode. And this is before 9/11. And so this is kind of the build up to what happened on 9/11 with them kind of looking into bin Laden and
because remember that the whole thing in the aftermath was that the FBI and the CIA wouldn't share information.
Yeah.
And that kind of allowed this whole 9/11 attack to occur.
Yeah, and we see that with Peter Sarsgaard, a CIA team, is that a couple FBI agents are there, and they close all the windows, not letting them see anything, and they're not sharing any information whatsoever.
Yeah, they have a meeting where a bunch of intelligence people are there, and he's like, oh, we have nothing to share. Kind of a dick.
Yeah. Yeah, but Peter Sarsgaard plays a good dick.
Just, you know what? I just was thinking about him too this week, going like, I haven't seen Peter Sarsgaard in forever.
And here he is. I think the last time I saw him was In The Killing?
I think he was in something else last year that we watched, but I can't remember what, or I watched it.
So yeah, Jeff Daniels is the head of the team for the FBI, and he kind of has three women in his life.
Oh, he's a pig. He's boning people all over the country.
He's got his Washington, D.C. girlfriend. He's got his New York girlfriend, and his wife, who there's absolutely no chemistry with.
Oh my God, he's so gross. Like, sorry, Jeff Daniels. I don't want to see you being a pig all over the country.
So what we see is was it the embassy that got bombed towards the end of the first episode?
The embassy
in Kenya in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that like nerdy FBI guy kind of had chemistry with that hot FBI lady that worked at the embassy. And
the older guy, right?
Yeah.
And, that comes into play second episode.
Oh, okay. I thought she was dead.
She is.
Oh, okay.
But he goes to Kenya, and so the whole time he's at the rubble, the site of the bombing, and he's like, "Well, have you seen this lady? Where is she? Where is she?" And he's all worried about her, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I met her when I was here last week," and so that kind of plays a big part of episode 2.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Makes me so bad because I really like the two of them together.
They were so cute. They kept looking back at each other.
I like the guy who plays the new FBI agent, the guy from Lebanon.
Safani or whatever his name is. Ali Safani.
Yeah. And we see him towards the beginning of the episode because then it flash forwards where in 2004 where he's testifying. He's testifying like the 9/11 trials.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I think
who my favorite characters on the whole show. I don't know what her name. Tony, that really tough New York lady.
Oh yes,
with her amazing hair. I love her.
She is really rough.
She's my favorite so far.
She was the one that was with the other guy at the FBI or at the CIA.
She's with the CIA, yeah. And she's just like a real kind of ball buster sounding voice. I like her.
I feel like in another world she could have been played by what's her name? The Scientology lady. King of Queens.
Oh, Leah Remini.
Yeah, that could have been Leah Remini in some other world.
I see that.
But no, yeah. So we're definitely gonna get. I'm wondering how like close to 9/11 this show's gonna get. If it's gonna go all 3 years from 98 to 2011. Or yeah,
I kind of hope it doesn't because I mean the whole thing is called the Looming Tower. You know, I kind of hope we. I don't know. I mean, you'll probably get your final shots will be them getting on the plane, or maybe the plane about to hit the tower, and then it'll cut to nothing.
Nothing. But then if we still see the testimonies going.
Yeah.
Through. What's interesting is that one of the creators of the show is famous documentarian, the guy that did the Going Clear Scientology movie.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Alex Gibney and a few other really famous docs, yeah. And so, yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. There's times where it loses me, and then there's times where it gets me again. I thought ending episode 1 with towards the end, ending it with the bombing at the embassy was definitely the best way to go, because that caught my attention, wanted me to continue on episode 2.
Some of it I get I'm confused by, like when they went and they were showing the guy John Miller interviewing Bin Laden, and they were showing real images of Bin Laden cut in with this actor. Am I to assume like all the people they were showing in the background, are they really in the tapes, or are they actors too? I didn't know what was going on, like, you know, who I was supposed to be looking for specifically there.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird choice to do that. And I did like we got some Ann Curry in the background in one of the episodes.
Yes, Ann Curry.
I know that voice anywhere.
Yeah, she's got a very good voice.
So I like that you do get a good feel of it being 98 and
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like I said, there's sometimes where it gets me, sometimes where it loses me, but it's 10 episodes. There's only 4 online right now. I'll watch it more. I
also really liked, I mean, we'll never see her again in the show, but I loved her when that guy was in Kenya and he went to her house, the Black American lady that was married to the Muslim guy.
Yes.
He was all like, what if I let this dog loose on you? I liked her.
Yeah. No, it's interesting so far. I like it. It's interesting seeing what Hulu has been doing the last year or two with some of their shows.
You know, these streaming sites, you know, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, you know, other than like HBO, these other channels need to step up their game because there's very few shows that can compete with them right now.
Yeah. They look good. They're interesting. I like that they're not limited by censors like the networks are, so we might get some language thrown out there, which I think feels a little more real. And yeah, I feel like some of the other, especially the broadcast networks, are kind of falling behind, except for Good Doctor, Dr. Sean Murphy, of course.
Yeah, well, that's why I was saying a few, because of course, Dr. Sean Murphy.
But I feel like it was kind of Nashville, of course, of course.
The quality entertainment that is Nashville.
And 911. Don't forget about 911.
Oh my God, 911 is so bad. I love it.
More quality entertainment right there. But I just feel like, and what's sad is that these shows I don't think are getting the eyes that they should be getting.
Yeah, well, because not everybody can afford to pay for something like Hulu or Amazon or HBO.
I can't, but I do.
I mean, at least Netflix is fairly cheap, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get a lot. You get a lot of Netflix. I want to talk about quickly one last thing for a couple minutes about a Netflix show I just started watching this morning. That I sent you an article about this morning.
Oh, you know, last night when I was looking for something to watch, I did see. You know how they say trending now or recently added. I did see Cake Fails, but I didn't watch it.
This show's called Nailed It. And
nailed it.
It looks like a reject baking show from the Food Network.
It's basically a BuzzFeed article turned into a TV show.
Yes. So one thing that I always like looking at, and we'll both look at them, are BuzzFeed articles showing Pinterest fails. People attempting to recreate a cake
the very famous Cookie Man cake or Cookie Monster cake.
Cookie Monster cake. There's an Ariel one I've seen so many times too. And that if you don't have the proper skills and the equipment, the cake you're going to make is going to look nothing like what
it's going to look like a horrible monster mutant.
Yeah, exactly. So they call them inexperienced bakers. These are home bakers. They're not trained at all.
It'd be like as if it's me. Somebody like me. Like I can mix ingredients together, but I can't decorate for shit.
Yeah, so there's 3 contestants every episode. And then there's Nicole Byers is the host. And she's actually funny. I like her. And then there's like some French guy named Jacques, who's the main judge, and then there's a rotating judge every episode. And so the first challenge, they give them something small they have to recreate. The second episode I watched, it was a pirate donut, and they each grabbed their own little pirate donuts, and they all had to recreate that. And they're given like 30 minutes and then an hour for the second challenge. And of course, since they don't quite have the skills needed or the time or the equipment to properly recreate what they're supposed to recreate, they turn out to be complete disasters. The second episode I saw, there was this like old grandmother from Mississippi, and her donut was supposed to be like a pink donut with like a black hat, black like feet. It's supposed to look like a pirate. It was like a pink mush with like black dots on it. It was so bad. And when they were talking about which was going to win that round, she's like, "I didn't hear you talk about my donut." And they're like, "No, we did not talk about your donut. You've got no chance to win, lady."
Oh my God, hysterical. So does somebody win each episode or what?
Yeah, so there's 2 rounds. There's the small round and there's a big cake round. The second episode I saw, they had to make a princess cake. And of course they aren't very good, but they get something out there. Is that
the picture that was in the preview that you sent?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That just a blonde, scary looking mush. Yes. Yeah.
One person, I guess, didn't have time for the airbrushing, so what he did is he took those like sour like rainbow ropes, like ribbons, and put that as the princess's hair.
It's kind of clever.
It worked. And then they, the winner of that challenge will then win $10,000. And they have like a money gun, and they shoot like the money at the winner.
So then they have to have the indignity of bending down to pick up their money off the ground.
Well, I bet it's like prop money.
I hope so.
It's kind of it's interesting. The whole tone of it is kind of like a jokey tone.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of it's kind of fun to watch.
Even the bakers are in on the joke. They're not being like mocked.
Yes, they're definitely in on the joke.
Okay. Because I don't mind if they know that they're horrible. I don't like shows where like that show. Remember that show where people thought they were like going to be on like American Idol type show and
Next Great Superstar or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I didn't like that show. Made me very uncomfortable and sad because I don't like when people are.
These people know they're not the greatest, and they know that what they're putting out isn't that great.
I should audition. I could be on a show like that.
And the host is hilarious, and it's just such a lighthearted, fun show that isn't. I mean, it has a little tinge of mean, but not really.
Yeah,
it's they're not taking themselves seriously at all, and it's just fun to watch. It's only 6 episodes, so it's an easy binge, but I'm enjoying it. It again looks like a reject Food Network show that they would they passed on 20 times before it went to Netflix. But I like it. It's fun.
I'll definitely take a look at it. I did think about watching it last night, but like I said, I wanted to.
It's so stupid, but I like it.
Okay, well, I guess we'll end the show on that.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. We won't be on next week, most likely. I'm going to the Big Apple, not New York City, just a giant apple on the side of the highway. And next week is Justin's birthday. Happy birthday, early birthday.
Thank you.
And I'll be back tomorrow with Arthur and Ryan, hopefully. Thanks for listening.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.